I'm Robert Firpo-Cappiello, Editor-in-Chief at Hospitality Technology and MURTEC. My guest needs no introduction, Daymond John. There is a shark in the water.
Wow.
Fantastic keynote, man.
Well, thank you, man.
I am eager to pick your brain about some industry challenges, if you don't mind. So, embracing innovation, there are so many solutions out there. How would you recommend, that a transformative technology should be applied to a restaurant business?
That is such a general question about, so what is keeping the team up at night? What is what is creating, if you look at it from a CEO standpoint or any leadership standpoint, they have two jobs, right? They have one job is the overall vision, the next job is the bottlenecks. And immediately, when you look at any kind of technology or innovation, what bottleneck is it solving? Because the theory is that in business, every problem you solve, you create another problem. If you go with that mentality, you understand that the technology right now is either getting people in and out of the door in quick enough time. Well, now all of a sudden you got to go to the backup of the line, right? And then you got to go to how are you storing things? So it creates another problem. So again, there's no one answer to it. It's just, can you take affordable steps? Can you test it? To the level where there's no disruption in the chain, and how do you test it small, as we call proof of concept, and then roll it out? Yeah,
beautiful. And now speaking of that, every solution creates a new challenge. We're talking about customer engagement in an industry where customer expectations are super high and they demand that consistency. Do you feel there is a way that technology can or cannot speak to that customer relationship and maybe deliver that personalized experience?
Well, where in the technology are you understanding where their complaints are? In the top organizations, the most profitable products are usually born out of customer complaints. So if you have abandoned carts, is there a reason for the abandoned carts in your business? So, listen, I was just talking to somebody in a whole nother industry, but the abandoned cart was, they say, hey, people watching this stuff, they get to this and they abandon the cart. What they didn't realize towards the end of the cart was not that, normally people abandon carts for a couple of reasons. They want to go out and test that, there's other things they want to price check. They don't trust the system you're on and where they're going to, obviously, give their payment in, or they don't trust the product, right? But in this instance, when we went through it, we realized that totally at the end where their abandoned cart was, because it said, call us for a quote. Who the hell is calling anybody these days? You just capture somebody who was digitally a digital person, and now all of a sudden you want them to call you. So again, it's all about customer complaints and finding out the data on where the reasoning is of the, of people not converting. And that's the most important part.
You got to close that feedback loop.
You got to close the feedback loop. You got to have a way to, because if somebody's complaining, that's actually an investment. Other than that, like all of us as consumers, we don't have to complain. We just move on to somebody else that does it faster and better and cheaper, or gives us what we need.
Right. So we got time for one more question.
Sure.
Pretend I'm a restaurant operator. What is the one piece of advice you're going to give me if I tell you I want to innovate at scale, but I also want to drive bottom line growth?
You want to innovate at scale and you want to drive bottom line growth. Where exactly can you upsell your customer or have them buy more frequently? Because people usually want to get more customers in the door, but the whole thing is, have you maximized and fully exploited your brand? I mean, they say that, everybody hustles different way. They say that Chick-fil-A only allows two outlets, right? Why? Because they're going to have, you maximize it. Remember, as I said on stage, there's only 3 ways to deal with the customer at all. Acquire a new one, upsell a current one, make one buy more frequently. Acquiring a new customer is 25 times harder than upselling one or making one buy more frequently. So I hate to say it, like good old, you got to supersize everybody's fries, right? So that's it. I mean, again, I'm a very simple guy, and these are the ways that, I find that I scale my businesses with these very simple techniques.
Daymond John, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.